How does that work, Dana? Because I see a lot of people, like, people always bring up the fighter pay with the UFC, but what's like, isn't Logan complaining right now that he didn't get his checks from Floyd? Is that like a boxing issue versus
you don't ever hear that coming out.
To this day,
you hear a guy going,
now,
I want to make $30 million, I didn't get paid enough. You don't ever hear guys going, yeah, they didn't pay me yet, ever.
Is that like a boxing issue?
Well, here's what happens when you go in and you do these fights, and you make them. And Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong. You do these fights that are exhibitions or whatever. The commission isn't overseeing it. So let's say I did a fight with Mike. I got Mike fighting, Francis or something. The athletic commission gets the money up front, so they pay the fighters.
Either way, the last thing you nearly need in your life is for things to go wrong and you were showing off how you were a big shot financially when you didn't have to, really. You didn't have to do that. And now you have this egg on your face and things are falling apart. And now people are wondering, did you get screwed or was it your own financial ignorance?
Now, he's accused in multiple lawsuits, all right, of owing millions for luxury watches, gold, and rent as well on the apartment that we just talked about, okay? And so he's got about, I want to say, I counted about 6 lawsuits.
Dana White recently took aim at Floyd Mayweather over the possibility of stepping into the ring with Manny Pacquiao once again. White suggested that the motivation behind the matchup is financial, expressing disappointment about the situation. He also raised concerns about Mayweather's finances, implying that the decision may be connected to a need for additional income rather than a competitive reason.
Do what they got to do and say what they got to say to try to, get in there and make money. It's not even going to be funny. It's going to be bad.
Logan Paul has stated that he has yet to receive money he believes is owed to him from his exhibition bout with Floyd Mayweather. His remarks have sparked further discussion about Mayweather's financial standing, with some questioning whether unresolved payments and other commitments could indicate ongoing money-related concerns.
Of doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid me. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. Mm-hmm. That company that paid him that money is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment that I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million. He custom built the house, by the way, in like 2006.
Yeah.
Started at 14, reduced to 12, 10, 8 came on the market, and it was a lot of house for.
According to Dana White, Floyd Mayweather accumulated an enormous fortune throughout his boxing career. He pointed to Mayweather's highly publicized showdown with Conor McGregor as the event that generated the largest financial reward of his career.
Biggest fights you've ever had?
Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, which ironically is a boxing event, but it's the biggest combat sports fight ever.
What did that gross?
It did 4.4, 4.5 million buys at $100 a buy.
Yeah. So that worked out okay.
Wade Plemons believes Floyd Mayweather did not handle his finances effectively during the earlier stages of his career. He suggests that once Mayweather's peak years in the sport were behind him, he continued making returns to the ring, using exhibition bouts as a way to generate additional income and rebuild his financial position.
Way back, again, 5 years ago now, but that was like the initial rumblings around that fight. And what Floyd did was use Mayweather Promotions to bring them this fight and say, if you'll front us this money, we'll put this fight here. They fronted him the money. He took the money, had the fight at the Hard Rock in Miami with Fanmio instead. That was the company that put it on, Fanmio. And Logan saw none of that front end 10 mil, and the people that paid Floyd the 10 mil never saw a dime back. It's nasty work what he did. But this has been like one of Floyd's MOs, is that he leverages his fight name or his quote unquote assets, and which is what, a lot of wealthy people do. They leverage their assets to take out bigger loans or, whatever. But Floyd does it in such a reckless way that no one ever sees return on it. He just takes money It isn't a loan. He's stealing.
Joe Rogan has suggested that Floyd Mayweather handled his earnings with little restraint, maintaining an extravagant way of life and spending as though the money would never stop coming in. According to Rogan, that approach may have contributed to financial pressures later on.
Crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy.
I remember Iran Barkley was talking about that. Iran Barkley, when he was in his prime, was hanging out with all these professional athletes, and everybody was getting diamond-crusted chains and this and that, and he was keeping up with these people. Like, you got to keep up with the Joneses. And he just found himself, like, draining all of his money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
They trying to keep up.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
What's that?
Who would know? He
No
Chad
one know.
Ochocinco.
Exactly.
It's
Fake
like when
jewelry,
they look at him, like
flying economy. He was sleeping at the stadium.
Teddy Atlas believes that some people take a sense of satisfaction from seeing Floyd Mayweather face difficulties today, because for many years, he publicly showcases wealth and luxury. Atlas suggests that this constant display of success led some observers to feel envy, influencing how they react to his current situation.
Taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great fall. Potentially
You're right.
fall. Oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever. Look, I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Steven Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time. He was named him. I never was a fan of Espinoza. Again, I'm not afraid to say and not mince my words when I feel a certain way. And I've taken arrows for it, and of course I've also taken some praise for it. That people say, hey, Teddy's gonna say what he feels. I was never a fan of him. I never thought he was a man that kept his word. I never thought he really did a great job over Showtime. I mean, they put some good fights on because the fights were available, because the landscape made it.
Dan Raphael argues that the questions being raised about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s finances should not come as a shock to those who have followed his career closely. In Raphael's view, the possibility of financial challenges was something many observers could have anticipated based on the way Mayweather publicly managed and displayed his money over the years. For much of his time in the spotlight, Mayweather cultivated a reputation built around extraordinary wealth and luxury. He regularly gave fans a glimpse into a world filled with private air travel, exotic automobiles, designer fashion, and lavish getaways. Rather than being occasional showcases, these displays became a defining feature of his public image and personal brand.
Contact my people again later, and hopefully I can get it this afternoon to actually read the specifics of the suit and what the allegations are. But the fact that Floyd would encounter some financial issues post his boxing career is not in any way a surprise to me. When you see the types of things that, if you believe anything that he puts on his social media, the travel that he does, the places he goes, and the amount of entourage he has, I mean, that's like a money pit. I mean, whether you're flying on private jets or you're staying at first class hotels, or you're buying expensive jewelry and cars and bags and you name it. I mean, it's all good when you're making those gigantic paydays and they're coming in, a couple times a year. You're making 40 million here and 25 million there, or even more, 100 million plus, when he fought the big mega fights with guys like Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao. But when that stops, that money doesn't, it goes.
Although this image reinforced his reputation for success and influence, it also prompted questions about whether such spending habits could be maintained over the long term. Dan Raphael argues that supporting an extravagant lifestyle demands strong financial discipline, particularly after an athlete steps away from competition and the steady flow of income begins to decrease. In his view, the size of a person's earnings is only part of the equation. What ultimately matters is how those resources are managed, protected, and invested for the future. Without careful planning, even enormous fortunes can gradually shrink. With ongoing discussions about financial challenges and Mayweather's continued participation in exhibition events, Raphael believes the current situation reflects concerns that have been raised years earlier. What once appeared to be an endless supply of wealth now serves as a reminder that lasting financial security depends not only on earning money, but also on making responsible decisions long after a successful career has ended.
Allegations about the $340 million, it just didn't ring true to me because Al Heyman, who is not named in the suit, but apparently is supposedly part of this problem, whatever. But I mean, I've known Al Heyman and covered Al Heyman's fighters and his business since the day he stepped in boxing in like 2002 with Vernon Forrest. And all that time, and literally in terms of the PBC, you know, a couple hundred fighters that he's dealt with, maybe not personally, but that his team is and his company. To a fighter, you never hear anybody, even when they're retired or they're not with Al anymore, nobody talks bad about him. In fact, if you ask most fighters, they'll tell you how good to them that he has been, that type of money that they've helped him make and the person that he's paid and the guidance that he's offered.
For many years, Floyd Mayweather Jr. cultivated a public image centered on extraordinary wealth, regularly showcasing a lifestyle associated with financial power and luxury. However, according to hosts of Boxing Go, recent events indicate that the reality behind the scenes may be far different from that perception. The commentator points to what he describes as a significant financial setback, drawing attention to legal claims Mayweather has filed against several major business associates. Throughout his career, Mayweather worked closely with prominent industry figures, including Steven Espinoza, as well as broadcasting platforms like Showtime. Those relationships were instrumental in generating enormous revenue from his fights, while expanding his reach to audiences around the world. Despite that long-standing collaboration, a reported lawsuit seeking $340 million alleges that a substantial amount of money connected to those business dealings was never fully paid. The claim has raised new questions about the financial disputes surrounding Mayweather and the partnerships that helped shape his career.
We are going to go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're going to see some fight photos and whatnot. But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're going to take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartment, right? The bullet points. Floyd was sued for allegedly failing to pay rent.
This development has sparked broader discussion about how finances are handled in professional boxing, particularly when it comes to contract clarity and long-term financial strategy. The difference between Mayweather's former public persona and the current legal disputes has surprised many observers. A lifestyle that once projected total financial confidence now appears more complex, leading to speculation about how past business arrangements were structured. It serves as a reminder that even the most successful athletes can encounter uncertainty when financial agreements and partnerships lack full transparency.
Sum represents the $500K, $500,000 in arrears plus late fees minus a deposit that Mayweather paid at the start of the lease and the $100,000 catch-up payment. So they deducted what he did submit when he was made aware of this, the $100K, and I guess a deposit. So the remaining balance is that. An attorney for Mayweather did not provide a comment by deadline. He has not responded to the lawsuit in court. In a separate legal matter, so we've already went over one with this luxury condo in Manhattan, right? But a separate legal matter, a Miami jeweler sued Floyd Mayweather last month, alleging the boxer owes more than $1 million for jewelry that he took but never paid.
Coach Malachi states that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is currently engaged in a significant legal case involving claims of approximately $340 million allegedly being mishandled or taken through business dealings connected to Steven Espinoza and Showtime. He further argues that the way these contracts were structured may have shifted or limited legal responsibility for certain parties involved, including Al Heyman. According to Malachi, if the contractual details are accurate. They could also explain why Al Heyman has not been named in the lawsuit.
It's in the contract. Guess what? Al Heyman is clear. And now it explains why Floyd don't have Al Heyman in the lawsuit. He can't sue him. Come on, man. Al covered his tracks. Now, he may be getting sued by big corporations, stuff like that, but he's not being sued by any fighter. They can't sue him. You get what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather messed up. And adds insult the injury, Floyd Mayweather has a gambling problem and he spends a lot of money. He loves to spend money. So whatever he have that's in his possession, he's spending that and blowing that on top of the $340 million that he said that's owed to him. Meaning that he never really got paid from the Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor fight. Come on, man. Al Heyman got power of attorney. You dig? And he covered his tracks. So shout out to the brother man, Al Heyman. You did a good job.
This conversation points to how intricate boxing-related financial deals can be, often designed in ways that shield certain individuals from direct legal responsibility. At the same time, Malachi argues that personal spending behavior cannot be ignored, describing Floyd Mayweather Jr. as someone associated with high-stakes gambling and an extremely expensive lifestyle. He also notes that despite ongoing claims regarding unpaid earnings from major fights against elite opponents, questions around money management continue to surface. From this perspective, the current situation is shaped by both the legal framework of contracts and individual financial choices, creating a complex blend of business arrangements and personal spending patterns within the sport.
I don't know, honestly, but offhand, you're asking me what my thoughts are offhand. I can never, listen, when I had a lot of money, I was a lot of times spending more, and I wasn't tracking every single cent, right? I mean, I was kind of reckless. I was young. I was, a pro athlete. I went from having nothing to having a bunch of money. So yeah, I'm not always tracking it as well as I should. But bro, if I'm missing a lot of difference money, if there's a huge difference, I'm gonna track it automatically just because it's so obvious. $340 million, no matter how much money you're making, $340 million does not slip through the cracks like you said.
Third of $1 billion.
It's not. I don't know, like there's guys who have a lot of money, okay? For me, I could go into a jewelry store, spend $20,000 at the time, like nothing. Like, you know what, I didn't plan on going there. I bought a Ferrari. I went with my friend to go check out a Ferrari.
And that brings today's video to a close.